back to the channel, guys. Today we have here a very common problem on a Mercedes W168. It's an a140 petrol. This same problem occurs also to the a160, which is the mass airflow or MAF sensor that is integrated in the ECU. So in this case, guys, I'm not the first one touching this car. The ECU is already compromised, if you will. Someone has been soldering resistors there. So I guess the best option was to replace the ECU. So first off, we are going to start and make sure that that is actually the problem. So finally we got it to read, and the P0100 is the mass airflow. Everything else has been disconnected, so not done by me but by the previous mechanic that's been working on this car. The purge valve on this car is disconnected. It really is, because it's not even there, but everything else should go away once we replace the ECU. So the car runs really rough, and of course now probably it won't show any error codes because I've just cycled the engine, the ignition, but haven't started the engine. So well, the purge valve is disconnected, as I said. But now the car runs really rough. It has no power at all. It barely wants to start when it's cold. So yeah, let's just proceed and change or replace the ECU with a known good used one, and we'll go from there. you can see, this is those plugs that kind that it's a slide and pull kind of plug. Once we remove the ECU, we are going to open it. I can see there in there that the MAF sensor or the glass monolith, I think that's what it's called, they are broken. So let's open the ECU. You have these two slide out kind of spring clips or little pieces of wire, basically just holding things in place. There is no bolts involved here. We just need to pry it open with a small screwdriver, as you can see all around it, and we'll be opening. If it is really easy to open, usually means it's been opened already, because when it's a virgin ECU, so to speak, it's really not that simple. You have to pry it around a few times before it opens. As you can see, this one opens right up, no issues with it. So there is a rubber gasket and those little clips there to open it. As you can see, we already have a few resistors soldered in that. Sometimes it works if you live in a country that there's not much variation in temperature, you can get away with it. But if you live in a country that when it's winter, it's really winter, and when it's summer, it's really summer or warm, then this option will not work very well, as you can see in this case. Now let's open the known good ECU, and let's just replace the components needed to make it work with the car, with the key code, the VIN number, everything you need to make it work. As you can see, this one hasn't been touched yet. That's why it took so long to open. These bolts here that I'm undoing right now, these are the bolts if you want to get to the mass airflow sensor itself. You have to undo these 8 bolts. You can separate the board from the tubes. So this is the flash that we are going to be swapping. As you can see, you always mark on the board where the number 1 pin was, so that you can solder the other one exactly the same way. Otherwise, obviously, the car won't work. This is a 29F400, if I'm not mistaken, and it requires a little bit of soldering skills, but nothing out of well, it's not that difficult actually. If you have the tools, at least the hot air station, because to desolder this component, you want to do it with hot air in order to not to bend any of the legs or break it, and also not to damage the board. So now I'm just removing the rubber boot on the front here, and to swap it to the other ECU, of course. So yeah, let's go to the other bench and start desoldering and soldering. So here we have the flash. This is it. So this is on the new ECU, new used ECU. We are going to remove this one. This one we are not going to use because it's coded to another car. We can also virginize this ECU or this flash and then code it to the car. But in this video, I want to show you the easy way to do this, or the easier way to do this type of work on these ECUs. As you can see, this takes a little bit to desolder because I don't want to overheat the board, and because the base of the board there, it's aluminium, so it dissipates heat really fast. That's why it takes a little bit to desolder, but take your time, no worries, no rush. And make sure you don't break anything, you don't desolder anything other than what you want to, because it can happen that you can desolder a few resistors or something around there of the flash, and if you can, take a picture before, because in case you desolder anything else, you want to know where it goes and the orientation of it, so be aware of that. You want to take your time soldering this, make sure everything is perfectly aligned, clean all the contacts before, and after make sure with a magnifying glass or a microscope or whatever, just make sure that everything is soldered correctly. Otherwise you will be opening and disassembling the ECU again, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do the same job twice, so make sure everything it's well put together the first time. All right, so now it's time to put it back together. You just have to clip it in place, as you can see, and you will hear a click, which means it's pretty much in place. Then you want to put these two metal spring clips. These prevent the ECU to lift on the near the plugs, and replace the boot there on the front. And after that, let's put it back to the car and test it and see what it does. Okay, so the ECU is put back to the car. Let's see how it reacts. Usually it takes a little more to start the first time. I don't know if it needs to purge or I don't know, but usually that's what it happens, but only for the first time. After that, but as you can see, it's working. Now let's diagnose the car, the ECU. It will probably have a few codes. Usually you will get the same code as the old ECU, and after that you'll clear it and they will go away. Anyway, the car is running 10 times different, 10 times better. It started really well, even better than I expected for the first time with this new ECU. And yeah, guys, this is another solved problem. Hope you guys enjoy, and it really hope it helps someone, because this is a really bad problem on these cars. These ECUs, brand new, are really expensive. Not everybody has the computers or the programs to be able to code the new ECU to the car. So this is the cheapest and the easiest way to do this work. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this type of content, please don't forget to hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, please don't forget to subscribe to help the channel grow. And yeah, guys, stay safe. See you next video.